Okay, so I know some of y'all probably don't want to hear about this, but because y'all just trying to celebrate the good things right now. First of all, congratulations to the Eagles on their win. Let's go Eagles. Anyway, secondly, I want to discuss some matters about inauguration day, about what Trump plans to do. Now, the thing is, it's not really about Trump necessarily. It's about one of the policies he's trying to pass, which is ending birthright citizenship. So I want to tell you a little. I want to get into that. By me getting to that, I want to first talk about this app because this is going to play a role. It's not playing a role, but it introduced me to another policy that's been on the table that there's a lot of people support of this policy. It's basically requiring a U.S. citizenship test for people to register as a citizen. And I think you already know where that goes. Where all right, ending birthright citizenship. All right, now everybody has to take a test to be a U.S. citizen. So, and now a lot of y'all are probably like, yeah, it's not really going to happen. No. Well, thing is, even though if it may not likely happen because of the U.S. Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, but not the Fourth Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the U.S. Constitution does say like with birthright citizenship and all that, but like the government is allowed to try to eventually propose a protest, which we already know that there's a lot of Congress, like in the Supreme Court, there's a lot of Republicans mostly in that office who hold that position now, as we can tell for the election results. So most likely they're going to go with Trump if Trump, proposes it and they decide, okay, give it the okay and put it out there. Because remember, Trump was looking for more Trump loyalists to make his plans more able to happen, make it lean into his favor. So we already know he's been doing that. He's trying to find people that's loyal to him and willing to enact what he's trying to put out there. So Trump is a man. He's a man who's going to ensure that he gets his things done the way he wants to get it done. I should know. I'm one of them. I'm a person. I want to ensure that I get things done the way that it gets done. I don't want no obstacles in the way. So that's what he's calculating as well. No obstacles in his way by having Trump loyalists. So he probably most likely got some Trump loyalists in the Supreme Court that is going to allow this bill to be proposed. Okay, because a lot of people have to vote together to enact against this amendment and change the amendment. That being said, for the end of birthright citizenship. That being said, if it's successful, then it's going to lead into this policy, which has a lot of support on requiring a U.S. citizenship test. Yes, and as this policy has a lot of support, I should know because there's this app called ActiVote. It allows you to vote for presidents and also say where you stand on certain issues like policies and issues that get proposed. One of the issues was about this U.S. citizenship test. Yeah, I put where I stood, and the thing is, the app can show you how many people supported each different option that was listed for that one issue or policy, basically. Issue focused around a policy or just issues around America as a whole. So when I clicked my risk option, I saw that the option for like people who want a U.S. citizenship test for people to be classified as a U.S. citizen, it had the majority of the votes out of all the other options. So if there's a lot of people out there that support this, I'm not sure how many people use this app in total, but that does play a factor in it. It could just be a few people, could be just a few people using this app, and they all support that. So, or could be a lot of people using this app and they all voted for that option. Either or, I'll get into it later. But there is a majority of people whoever uses this app have voted for that option. That option that had the majority of votes out of all the other options. And if Trump ends the Birthright Citizenship Act, then it's likely that policy where they require U.S. citizenship tests for you to become a U.S. citizen, they're going to enact that too. That's going to be next. It may not happen during Trump's presidency, but it may happen later during another president with the same intentions in mind. So if they enact that, that means everybody got to retouch up on their American history. Everybody loses their birth citizenship right. Because and the birth citizenship doesn't just apply to the immigrants. It applies to everybody who is a U.S. citizen. Basically, they're testing for loyalty to the American government, which is also loyalty to the American U.S. policies and government and all that. So that's what they're testing for. Show how much you know about our history, our culture, the culture from then to now, how it still applies today and all that, and making sure, yeah. So, and everybody's gonna have to be tested, and yeah. So if you don't know your stuff, you could be deported, or who knows, worst case scenarios, if they can't find a way to deport nobody, they might resort to some old Nazi tactics, Nazi good Germany tactics, where just off those who you can't deport. You already know about that. So, and the U.S. is guilty of, well, not guilty. I mean, really say guilty if it's considered wrong, but they didn't really look at it as wrong because, so they are known for adopting some of the policies that were enacted during Hitler's time. So, I'm not saying any president is like Hitler or anything. Yeah, Trump could be resembling of that, who knows, but likely there might be another president after him that would enact the U.S. citizenship test and probably start the deportation processes. And if it don't work out for the people who don't pass the test, you might just get rid of them or find use out of them in the army till they die, because there's always going to be an option where they probably also have it as an option where you can join the army and become a citizen that way too. That's the other route. Instead of the testing don't work, then all right, man, serve the army for this amount of years, you're a citizen, because there's countries that do that too. So there's countries that already have that, where you gotta serve the army for a period of time, then all right, you get your benefits as a citizen to the country, which is really, like I said, to build more loyalists. Because you go to the army, it's likely you're going to come out a little bit more national, supporting a little bit more nationalism. Now, me as a person, I really don't have a problem. I mean, I have a problem with extreme nationalism. I don't have a problem with moderate nationalism. Like, okay, there is some importance to national identity, to separate, to understand our differences from the other people, and how we'd like to do things differently from them. Even though we might be working on the same thing, we might want to do a little something different versus how they want to do something different. So that's the importance of national identity, separation, like identifying who we are and how we do this mission. Just same thing if you're running a company or a social organization, you want to have a self-identity that separates you from the other ones who's working on the same mission and what you're doing differently. So simple as that. Or how you regulate differently within your group. Either or. Still, national identity is to some degree important, whether people think it's not, like it or think it's not. It is important. If you like to identify as yourself, both, then that's one way of looking at it, like national identity or personal identity. Either way, national identity is basically the same as personal identity. All right. So it's just, this applies to the nation as a whole. So national identity. So that's why nationalism, to me, to some degree, is important, just not extreme forms of nationalism where people take it way too far. And just want to, like, target everybody. No. Target everybody or go isolationist mode or whatever. Some very extreme forms of it. But there are moderate forms of nationalism as well as internationalism. So, but basically, this sums up my whole warning about that. So, like, everybody, if this does get passed, everybody retouch up on the American history, because they're going to pass that U.S. citizenship test requirement eventually after. And it's going to require everybody to know their stuff about the American government and history in order for you to be classified as a citizen. Now, there will be the option for military too. I mean, hey, some of y'all might want to go the military route because y'all might be more hands-on than, brain-wise. So, I mean, that's also an option. But, you don't have to pick either or. If this gets passed, everybody going to have to reclassify themselves as citizens. So, after you already done paid for all your identifications and all that, you're going to have to repay for all that to get recertified. So, more money to the government as well. Expect that. So, if something like this, if they if he manages to end birthright citizenship. So that's my warning to y'all. I got to get to work. You have a nice day.